Beloved child, listen closely as I speak directly to your heart. I have been by your side, watching your resilience grow. I have witnessed your tears fall to the ground, like seeds being watered by sorrow. And I say to you now, those tears have germinated a new life. There is a fresh green sprout in the soil, a living testimony that from your deepest pain shall spring forth abundant joy. Open your eyes and see with faith, for the earth beneath your feet trembles with promise. What you once believed was lost forever will arise in miraculous ways. The seeds you thought had perished are pushing through the soil of your life, and they are about to produce a mighty yield. Yes, I speak of real blessings that will bring forth peace to your heart and nourishment to your spirit. Blessings that do not come weighted down with tension or sorrow. These will not be false hopes or illusions. They will be genuine gifts that leave you grateful, content, and spiritually rich. I want you to receive these words and let them be engraved on your soul. This is a new moment of multiplication and renewal. Your prayers, your faith, and your steadfast spirit have not gone unnoticed. I delight in hearing your voice when you cry out to me, and I delight in seeing you rise from setbacks that threaten to keep you down. You have lived through seasons of uncertainty and darkness. Now, as a new dawn arrives, embrace the light of my favor. Do not fear that the mistakes of your past will sabotage this coming blessing. I do not anchor your destiny to your failures. Instead, I invite you to trust in my shepherd's heart, for I am the one who nourishes, protects, and sustains you. I will lead you where you can prosper. I will show you green pastures and guide you beside still waters. If you will keep your eyes on me and not place all your confidence in any mortal being, you will witness my power. I desire that you treat others with kindness, understanding that true humility lifts you into my presence. When you obey my commandments and walk in faith, doors swing open that no enemy can shut. The miracles I have prepared are not games of chance or results of hollow, empty words. They are the unfolding of my eternal design, grounded in the reality of my word, which never fails. In my perfect timing, everything aligns according to my will. If your heart yearns for a transformation, and if you seek a better life for yourself and your loved ones, lift your voice to me. Let your spirit resonate with hope. I am ready to do a work in your life so radical that it will seem as though your heart and mind have been renewed overnight. Understand, however, that your faith is an essential ingredient. I will not force my gifts upon you. You must believe and receive them. Behold, you are at the threshold of new territory. A future of promise stretches ahead of you. Now is the time to leave behind the memories that only evoke regret and to look forward, reaching for the blessings I have set before you. Seize them with faith. Grasp hold of the inheritance I am placing in your hands. Your season of hardship has passed. A season of fruitfulness begins to unfold. Even as you read these words, I am orchestrating wonders around you and your loved ones. Let no disappointment weigh you down, especially over doors that have recently closed. Where one door closes, another, far greater, opens, and what I open, no one can shut. Trust that when a small opportunity ends, it is only to usher you towards something far more magnificent. Spiritual battles rage in unseen realms over your life, but I have already positioned victory on your behalf. There are forces determined to undermine your growth, discourage your heart, and cloud your mind with lies. Remember, you do not fight alone. I am sending to you wise counselors and friends who will walk with you and guide you toward freedom. Do not reject divine guidance out of pride or fear. Embrace instruction, and you will see the walls of opposition crumble. I can deliver you in an instant, but my purpose is to help you appreciate the strength and gifts I have placed within you. Understand that true victories are not accomplished in your own strength alone. When you rely on me, your faith multiplies, your talents blossom, and my name is glorified through your testimony. Stay close to me and you will go far. In doing so, you will become an instrument of blessing for many, and your family will find wisdom and humility. You will prosper, not just in material ways, but in the deeper riches of compassion, empathy, and spiritual understanding. We will walk this journey together if you offer me your hand. You are ready to climb a higher spiritual plane where decisions are forged in divine truth and lives are forever changed. I have prepared so many wondrous works for you to engage in, works that will awaken your heart to your true purpose. Even now, a foundation is being built beneath your feet, one that is firm and unshakable. From this foundation, your household will stand strong, and your lineage will come to know me through your shining example. I will impart unique gifts, talents, and callings upon each member of your family. I will plant in them a hunger for wisdom and learning, so they will grow both in knowledge and in devotion. Dream bigger. Let your imagination stretch beyond the limits you once imposed upon yourself. Look higher than you have ever looked before. I have not destined you or your loved ones to a life shackled by spiritual poverty or emotional confusion. I have not created you to be forever battling from one crisis to the next, chained by fear and cycles of despair. My child, you are not meant to remain in scarcity or to be trapped under a dark cloud of doubt. Let go of the misconceptions that have kept you feeling small and unworthy. Permit your faith to expand. I am here to support you, guide you, and help you manage the blessings that are on the horizon. I will turn your tears into laughter, your heaviness into strength, and I will soothe the ache within your heart with my boundless love. Right this moment, I am enveloping you in my divine embrace. Whether you find yourself in a crowded place or in a solitary corner, pause for just a few moments and receive the gift of calm I am pouring out upon you. Take a deep breath and let your worries dissolve. I grant you the power to master your stormy emotions and the anxieties that try to rule your thoughts. Yes, there have been times when bad news left you shaken, weary, and uncertain. But I say unto you, trust in me once more. I am here, and your story is far from over. The obstacles that towered before you like giants will soon be a memory. Your future is saturated in anointed promise, and no enemy can halt what I have destined for your life. I can transform every opposition into a platform for miracles, every lack into abundance, and every sickness into health. I delight in showering my grace upon you. Do not doubt my power or my willingness to act on your behalf. In my eyes, you are precious beyond measure. I am not a distant figure who fails to see your cries. I have never been absent. My goal has always been your salvation, your growth, your everlasting life. I arrived in the fullness of time to give my life for you, to illuminate your path, and to draw you away from the snares of the world. I am your guide, your truth, and your unending source of life. Cling to my promises. Turn away from the deceptive whispers that paint false pictures of defeat. I am moved by your confidence in me. I see how you are learning to disregard the voices that aim to provoke you, to snatch away your peace, and to ensnare you with anger and confusion. They want to fill your mind with misconceptions and false narratives, to tempt you into reacting recklessly out of fear or pride. But remember, your identity is safe with me. Stand firm in my love and allow no one to pull you away from the place of security where I have planted you. I know you have experienced loneliness and felt a void where you longed for affection. Today I hold you with everlasting arms. I whisper courage to your soul and speak life into your spirit. Let every chain that has kept you in bondage dissolve. I am deeply aware of how frightened and concerned you have been, of how your heart has cried out for immediate intervention. You yearn for me to come swiftly and fix everything that felt broken. My child, your desperation touches my heart. I recognize that many things hinge on that breakthrough you have pleaded for, even though you could not solve it on your own. You wondered if perhaps I was angry and withholding my help. But I tell you now, Do not mistake my timing for indifference. You will always need me, regardless of how blessed or self-sufficient you become. Resist the temptation to grow complacent, forgetting that the adversary watches for moments of carelessness to attack your faith and disrupt the precious dreams I have planted within you. Let me come into your present battle and fight with you, for it is not my desire to see you shackled by torment. Surrender all your anxious thoughts to me. Each time you catch yourself spiraling into dark imaginations, say, "No, I refuse these lies. My God is almighty and will not let me be overcome." Close the door to discouragement, for it has no place in the heart of one who trusts my name. If you feel the flame of hope flickering low, draw near to me, and I will reignite it. I will revive your passion for living and fill you with a holy determination to keep moving forward. Seize my promises now and hold them tightly. Words of criticism and condemnation may be shouted at you daily, but my voice of love is louder. It speaks deep into your soul, reminding you that you are chosen. I see beyond the surface, beyond what others say, beyond the scars that mark your past. And I declare that you will once again feel real joy. You will step into the next phase of your life, unburdened by the shame and guilt that once clung to you. Let these declarations sink in. You are walking toward a brighter tomorrow. Solutions are coming for each problem that has plagued your mind. You did not stumble upon these words by chance. I am orchestrating these moments to remind you that your prayers matter. Your intellect is a gift from me, allowing you to discern, reflect, and grow. As you read this, your readiness for a breakthrough is evident. Get ready, for the door of possibility is about to open wide. I am not a figment of your imagination, nor a powerless idol. I am the Lord who rescued you time and again, lifting you from pits of despair and surrounding you with unbreakable love. Your track record with me testifies that whenever your life was in jeopardy, I intervened. I restored your breath when you thought all was lost. I renewed your spirit when the heartbreak seemed too heavy to bear. Let my presence in your heart set you ablaze with hope. What once appeared to be only a dream is growing into reality. A strong tree will emerge where you planted seeds of faith. That tree will provide shelter, nourishment, and blessing for you and for those you care about. Remain in my grace and cultivate a joyful spirit, for you are on the brink of seeing wonderful transformations. Let gratitude be the shield that guards your heart. Though you have stumbled and fallen before, I never abandoned you. I pardoned your sins, helped you rise again, and refused to leave you in ruin. Now new days are dawning, and sorrow gives way to the fullness of joy. Hear me. Your eyes will behold the miracle you have long asked for. Utter these words with conviction. I believe. This is how you partner with my promise. Remember that you are cherished. I have extraordinary plans for you. Walk in obedience step by step, unhurried but unwavering. The path to peace and fulfillment is not about speed. It is about perseverance, about the clarity of your focus, and about cultivating a quiet confidence in who I am. Do not glance from side to side, comparing your progress to others. Fix your eyes on me alone. You are closer than you realize. I know the days have felt long, the waiting heavy, but you have matured, and you no longer let your emotions dictate your faith. You have learned that I wish to bless your household and clear the obstacles from your collective path. You and your family will not crumble before adversity. Yes, you will face trials, for I do not promise a life devoid of struggles. However, I do promise that faith and resilience will never fail you. Hold on to courage, confident that your victory is assured. Let my holy declarations wash over your soul, infusing you with spiritual vitality, renewing your mind, strengthening your heart. Let every heavy chain of discouragement be snapped. Depression and despondency must flee in the light of my truth. Where you have been weighed down by sorrow, I speak release. Where damaging influences have tried to drag you into error, I declare freedom. My child, do not be seduced by empty promises. Some pursue nothing but material wealth, clamoring for status and fleeting applause. They chase illusions that cannot satisfy the spirit. They clothe themselves in outward success, presuming it indicates my favor, even while their hearts are far from me. They say my power resides with those who flaunt their accomplishments, but they do not know my ways. They ignore the one who took on the form of a servant, who died on a cross out of incomprehensible love. Their hearts are hardened to the truth, but you, beloved, have opened your heart to me. You have sought truth, humility, and genuine transformation. That is why I desire to reveal greater wonders in your life. There is no need for pretension. Clothe your soul in humble gratitude and refuse to yield to the illusions dangled by the devourer. I will increase your peace and patience, so you will not tire of waiting on my perfect timing. Refuse to speak words of complaining or doubt, for these only undermine the faith you have been nurturing. Pray earnestly, Lord, I trust you. I believe that in due season, I will see the manifestation of every promise you have given me. I want you to be absolutely certain that what you have asked for in Jesus' name will be granted in my appointed time. I call forth new seasons, abundant showers and open heavens over your life, filling every corner of your existence with my richness. You will overflow with peace, and genuine joy will permeate your household. All this is possible for those who hold my word in their hearts, who persevere in faith, and who do not shrink back in disbelief. Keep in mind that blessings of great worth often require a process. Just as a child takes time to develop in the womb, just as a seed must be buried and transformed before it sprouts, so too must the blessings I have prepared be carefully brought forth. They are powerful and meaningful, and they reshape circumstances and lives in ways you cannot fully imagine. Do not lose heart in the waiting. Fix your eyes on the horizon and walk steadily forward. Each step you take in faith brings you closer to the realization of promises that far exceed your expectations. Change can be unsettling, but understand that every shift is orchestrated for your good. I position you among people and resources intended to foster your growth. When I stand with you, no one can triumph over you. Accusations and judgments lose their power because I step in to protect you. If only you could see the heavenly armies I have stationed around you, if you could glimpse the rays of my divine light illuminating your path, if you could perceive the many unseen ways I am clearing obstacles and dismantling the enemy's strategies against you, your heart would burst with gratitude. Soon, in visions and dreams, I will reveal more glimpses of my splendor, granting you a foretaste of heaven's majesty here on earth. I will reorder creation itself for the sake of a heart that trusts me wholeheartedly. The entire cosmos moves in harmony with my will, and I take joy in responding to your sincere faith. I delight in your unwavering devotion. You have shown courage by holding on to the hope I placed in you, despite the storms. I treasure hearing your praises in the morning when you wake, in the evening when you rest, and in the quiet moments in between. My love is steadfast, unchanging. It carries you from one day to the next. Before you resume the duties of your life, let me remind you, I love you. I wait to hear you echo these words, to witness the sincerity of your adoration. Say it to me, I love you, Lord. There is nothing you can ask of me that my boundless love cannot provide. Where the enemy has robbed you of your dignity, I will restore it. Where you have been displaced or dishonored, I will establish you in a rightful place of honor. I have a richer, fuller life in store for you if you will yield your heart to me fully, accepting the healing and forgiveness I long to pour out. My promises are etched into your spirit. They exist deep within your core. If you are going to believe, believe with every fiber of your being. Do not be like those who speak of my love yet remain skeptical, placing more faith in human judgments and criticism than in my eternal word. Many will try to confine you within their rigid opinions. They claim that is love, but they simply want to control you, forcing you to comply with standards they themselves fail to keep. They cloak themselves in a counterfeit righteousness, presenting an outward show of holiness, but in their eyes, you are always the one at fault. To them, you can never measure up. I am calling you out of that bondage into the perfect freedom I offer. I want you to go to bed at peace each night. Allow my Holy Spirit to minister to your spirit as you sleep, healing old wounds and tearing down every chain that still clings to your soul. Rise each morning liberated from the weight of people's judgments and expectations. You will no longer be enslaved to the changing opinions of others. Embrace your true identity as my beloved child, intelligent and discerning, gentle in spirit yet courageous in adversity, with a blazing faith that transforms circumstances. When life's hardships hit you like a wave and you feel battered by the cruelty or neglect of others, hold fast to me. Resist the urge to sink into despair or bitterness. Your existence has higher purpose, for you are an heir of my kingdom. You were not designed to remain in a corner, invisible and unheard. I am he who gathers you into my arms, who whispers words of comfort and renewal. Let my forgiveness wash over you. I restore shattered dreams, infuse new life into your soul, and offer a future replete with possibility. You have talents, gifts, and aptitudes meant to blossom and influence the world around you. Do not limit them or bury them because someone else told you they were unimportant. I'm telling you they are vital. Peace, joy, health, they all flow from my hand when your heart is open to receiving. Take your place with renewed confidence, stand upright, and see yourself through my eyes. You are a prince, a princess, wrapped in my divine authority, and safeguarded by my everlasting love. Yes, my dear child, I hear you asking for that specific miracle. That one pressing situation we have both known weighs heavily on your mind. You have shared it in your prayers, perhaps through tears. I hold that miracle right here in my hands, waiting for the right moment to manifest it in your life. Others may have doubted you, judged you as unworthy, or even ridiculed your faith. But their unbelief will not prevent me from moving powerfully on your behalf. I shall astound them. They will see the evidence of my hand at work and realize that in scorning you, they also scorned the one who stands beside you. I will bring you into an environment far healthier for your growth, free from pointless rivalries and malice, where true love is celebrated and supported. Your skills and talents, which I bestowed upon you from the beginning, will finally be recognized, and you will find allies who encourage you to develop them further. Dismiss any fear that you might become lost in materialism or pride. True prosperity, in my eyes, is a holistic state of well-being that includes peace of mind, unity among loved ones, and a release from the burdens of debt and desperation. I yearn for you to flourish in spirit, soul, and body. From where I stand, your miracle shines with brilliance. You will soon recognize that the struggles you survived were the necessary steps in your journey. Your family will come to appreciate the depth of your convictions. Those who once ridiculed your prayers and faith will be convicted, their hearts softened, and they will repent for the hostility they displayed. You will become a beacon, guiding others toward me. Yes, I have chosen you for a unique purpose, one that extends beyond mere worldly success. I want you to carry my truth to your household, your community, and beyond, displaying my mercy and grace. Let your life be a testament that points to my unwavering love and redemptive power. Do not cling to dreams of fame or to the insecure longing for human applause. This is how so many lose their way, bending their moral compass to gain popularity. They sacrifice their convictions, conforming to what pleases the masses. You, on the other hand, are called higher. Do not stoop to consume crumbs from their table. Gaze upward to my throne, for that is where you ultimately belong. Because of your persevering faith, you will witness each promise I have given you come to pass. Through you, I will perform wonders, but never seek earthly compensation or flattery. Be content with my love and abiding presence, for that is the most secure foundation you can have. Today, I extend my hands toward you, holding the miracle you have diligently requested. Will you receive it? Will you align your faith with my promise and stand on the assurance that I never fail, my beloved ones? Answer me from deep within your heart. Yes, Lord, I believe. Let these words sink into your spirit, for they are truth and life. I am the Holy One who formed you, who foresaw every day of your existence before one came to pass, and who promised to remain with you until the very end of the age. Whatever you face, I stand ready to intervene at the perfect moment. I do not abide by human calendars or deadlines. I move in seasons of eternal wisdom. I see the end from the beginning. I see your potential, the hearts I intend you to touch, and the flourishing life you are meant to enjoy. Let confidence in my goodness take root in your soul. I am committed to finishing the work I have started in you. Every day is an invitation to draw closer to my heart. In moments of prayer, let your trust ascend to new heights. Turn your anxieties into praise. Convert your tears into declarations of hope. As you do, you lay hold of the victory that is rightfully yours. Through tests and trials, your character is refined, and your capacity to love me and others expands. Even when your sight is dimmed by sorrow, remember that the dawn always breaks. Likewise, though your circumstances seem bleak, my plan never falters. You have glimpsed heartbreak, betrayal, and disappointment. But from these broken fragments, I am crafting a magnificent mosaic, your life's testimony of redemption. The seeds you scattered in times of distress were never forgotten. I shall make them bloom in the season I have ordained, surprising you with a harvest of unimaginable goodness. Be vigilant in your mind. Cast out negativity and fear. When the enemy whispers that you are unworthy or doomed to fail, counter it with the knowledge that I, the Lord, am your fortress. I speak life and affirmation, calling you to lift your head high as my royal child, cleansed and forgiven. No matter how numerous your adversaries might seem, whether they are tangible circumstances or invisible forces, be assured that I am infinitely greater. I stand ready to tip the scales of battle in your favor. Do not measure your hope by the size of your challenges. Instead, measure it by my immeasurable grace. The world might not grasp this, but you know me intimately, and you have seen my wonders before. I have not changed. Recall how I delivered you from your previous trials. Reflect on the ways I provided for your needs when everything seemed impossible. Think back to the nights I comforted you while you wept, and the mornings I renewed your strength. My word is living and dynamic, sharp enough to cut through any layer of doubt. My promises are your arsenal. Arm yourself with them daily. The enemy will try to exhaust you, to wear you down until you question your calling. Recognize these tactics and refuse to concede. Fill your atmosphere with worship, gratitude, and declarations of faith. As you do, you create a spiritual climate so saturated with my presence that darkness cannot remain. In that radiant sphere, you will perceive solutions to problems you once found insurmountable. Breathe in my goodness. Exhale your burdens. I am your safe haven, your all-sufficient refuge. Do not wait for others to validate what you already know in your spirit. You are chosen and beloved. My children need no external applause to know their worth. In my kingdom, your value is intrinsic, shaped by my love and the destiny I have for you. Let your heart rejoice even now as you sense the shift in the spiritual realm. Doors that were slammed shut are about to swing wide open. Situations that caused sleepless nights will soon be resolved. I see the praise forming on your lips. Lift it up. Celebrate my faithfulness before the breakthroughs materialize. This is the posture that shakes the foundations of adversity. Your worship is a force, a potent declaration that you believe in my ability to turn ashes into beauty. Know this: I gather every heartfelt prayer, store every tear, and transform them into unstoppable blessings. I stand as the rock beneath your feet. I am not moved by circumstance. My word never returns void. Your faith, though tested, emerges refined and stronger. Those who ridiculed you will marvel when they observe how I intervene. Some, in their pride, may stay rigid, but others will see my glory in your life and be drawn to know me more intimately. I love when faith shines as a beacon in darkness. Your testimony will be the dawn for many whose nights feel endless. You become a living expression of my goodness, showing that no heart is beyond my redemption. Persist in faith. Do not be swayed by fleeting emotions or the illusions of the world. My Holy Spirit dwells in you, shaping your thoughts, aligning your desires with my perfect will. Surrender daily, and you will witness even greater wonders. The spiritual realm is teeming with angelic hosts assigned to guard you. If you could see them, if you could hear their triumphant cries over each victory you claim, you would rejoice without ceasing. They fight on your behalf. They minister when you are weak. They cheer when you walk in bold trust. All heaven celebrates as you step deeper into my presence. Yes, my child, the time has come for you to rest in the assurance that my plan is for your good, never for your harm. Resist the lies that say otherwise. Expand your vision. Let your heart dream again. Look to tomorrow not with dread, but with wonder. I will not fail you. My power knows no limits. My compassion is endless. My grace is always sufficient. You will experience it again and again, for I delight in showering you with my loving kindness. Now, gather the strength to look ahead. The uphill climb may continue for a while, but each step is orchestrated by my wisdom. Pause and reflect on how far you have come. Trust that I will guide you through the rest of the journey. The vantage point from the heights will reveal how every valley, every trial, and every tear served a pivotal purpose in shaping the person you are becoming. Live with expectancy. Do not hide what I have given you. Reflect my radiance in every sphere, your home, workplace, community. Be the carrier of hope, the one who exudes kindness and compassion. Let my love pour out of you, reaching those in dire need of comfort and direction. I have placed you here to shine. So again I ask, will you receive the miracle I hold in my hands? Will you trust my timing and my methods, even when they defy human logic? Will you declare with unwavering belief, "Yes, Lord, I am ready"? I stand poised to release it at the precise moment that brings me the most glory and you the most fulfillment. All I require from you is that you remain in faith, unwavering in the knowledge that my promises stand firm. Take my hand now, and let us move forward together. Step into the abundant life I have long prepared. Bask in my presence, and do not fret over how it will all come to pass. Leave the details to me. Secure your heart in my truth, and watch day by day as breakthroughs unfold like blossoms beneath the sun. My beloved, I am for you, not against you. I am in you, not distant from you. I have not abandoned you to fend for yourself. The tapestry of your life is being woven with divine purpose. Let your soul rejoice. Your time of sorrow is fading. The harvest is coming, and you will gather fruit beyond what you dreamed possible. From the seeds of heartbreak spring forth fields of blessing. Stand in awe of my faithfulness. Remember, I am the author and the finisher of all things. Surrender your doubts, for you are in my capable hands. Know that my love is perfect, unchanging, and wholly committed to seeing you flourish. Therefore, lift up your voice. Sing a new song of thanksgiving. Dwell on my goodness and proclaim my name in every season. Let your heart be a tabernacle where gratitude abounds. In storms, sing of my rescue. In calm waters, sing of my provision. In the waiting, praise my divine plan. In the receiving, declare my marvelous works. This posture of constant worship transforms your life into a sanctuary of my presence. You have journeyed through challenges that tested your resolve and encountered moments when the weight of life made you question whether you could continue. Yet here you stand, more resilient than before. In your quiet times, you have sought me with earnest prayers and heartfelt longing. You have felt my comforting presence in your darkest nights, and you have witnessed glimpses of my goodness at dawn's early light. Today I want to pour forth a fresh revelation of my plans for you, reinforcing your faith, quickening your hope, and reminding you that I am the one who holds you securely in my hands. I see the silent tears you have shed when no human eye was watching. I hear the unspoken sighs, the anxious thoughts that flicker across your mind, even when you have no words to describe them. You have wondered if those hidden cries touched my heart. Yes, beloved, they did. Like a tender father listening to the soft whimpers of his child, I have turned my ear to you. Never doubt that every sob, every whispered petition, every internal plea has reached me. I have collected your tears as precious tokens of your journey and allowed them to water the seeds of faith buried in your soul. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply. Let the worries of your day recede and consider the countless ways I have already come to your aid. Perhaps you recall a memory that once brought you turmoil, an unexpected financial crisis, a heartbreaking betrayal, a serious health scare. Yet you are here, breathing, thinking, and feeling my presence. Does that not testify to my sustaining power? If I have carried you through those storms, will I not also anchor you through the challenges you face today? I am not limited by circumstance. Indeed, I am the Almighty, creator of all that exists, and I have chosen to call you by name. When you reflect upon the adversities you have overcome, you realize that none of them were strong enough to keep you down. You emerged with wisdom that could only be gained by walking through valleys, as well as gratitude cultivated through nights of fervent prayer. The pain you endured was not meant to crush you permanently. It was permitted for a season so that your character would be refined and your faith would grow unshakable. Even the times you stumbled or felt too weak to continue, I was there, upholding your spirit. Let me remind you of who you are to me, my cherished child. When you feel overlooked by others, when your talents go unappreciated and your efforts unnoticed, I am keenly aware of every detail. When the world is too busy or preoccupied to see your worth, I see it clearly. I formed your innermost being with a design and purpose. I whispered potential into your DNA and placed within you gifts that reflect my glory in a unique way. There is no one else like you, and there will never be another who can mirror your specific combination of gifts, experiences, and heart desires. Each morning as you step out of bed, I watch eagerly for your first thoughts and your first words. I listen for that moment when your heart might turn to me, even if only for a fleeting second, to say, "Thank you, Lord," or "I trust you, God." These simple, genuine expressions delight me more than you can imagine. They open the door for my spirit to guide you through the day. If your mind is clouded with anxiety, I yearn for you to invite me into that mental storm so I can speak peace over your chaos. When you reach out to me, you open yourself to receive a downpour of blessings, protection, insight, favor, and strength that transcends human comprehension. Sometimes you fear that I am displeased with you, especially after a moment of weakness, a lapse in judgment, or a display of temper. Yet do you not remember the depth of my mercy? When I walked the earth in the person of Jesus, I reached out to the broken, the sinful, the outcast, and the shamed. I touched lepers, forgave adulterers, and called forth the unloved to stand tall in my presence. My compassion extends over every fault. If you come to me sincerely, my grace is sufficient to cover every failure. I am not looking for perfection in your actions. I am searching for sincerity in your heart. I cherish your honest desire to turn away from wrongdoing and align yourself with my truth. Even now, I sense your spirit stirring with a mixture of curiosity and reverence. You want to understand more. You have an earnest desire to go deeper in faith, to truly comprehend how I move and what I intend for your future. This is the posture I adore, a heart that is open, teachable, and yielding. In this posture, you become like pliable clay in the hands of the potter. I mold and shape you to reflect my character. Just as a skilled artist sculpts a masterpiece over time, with patient and steady hands, so do I refine you, layer by layer, moment by moment. It does not mean I remove your individuality or unique perspective. On the contrary, I refine your authenticity so it becomes a vessel for my glory. Think of your personality as a color I have chosen to paint onto the tapestry of humanity. Each hue is essential. Without your contribution, the grand picture would be incomplete. You might have grown up believing you are insignificant or ordinary, but I declare otherwise. Your voice, your mind, your testimony, and your experiences matter deeply. There have been situations that made you feel small, relationships that left your heart crushed, workplaces that failed to appreciate your labor, or circles that did not welcome your ideas. Let me remind you that their dismissal does not define your potential or nullify your gifts. In my kingdom, those who feel disqualified are often precisely the ones I raise up to accomplish astonishing feats. I delight in choosing the humble, the overlooked, and the broken to demonstrate my wondrous redemption. Consider how many times your prayers have seemed unanswered. Did you feel frustration? Perhaps you felt I was silent, indifferent, or even punishing you. Yet, in my infinite wisdom, I see the entire spectrum of your existence. I know the sorrow a premature yes could bring, and the heartbreak a misguided no would cause. Sometimes, to protect your future joy or to refine a certain facet of your character, I withhold immediate responses so that you will learn to trust me beyond the realm of quick solutions. In the waiting, faith grows. In the waiting, humility takes root. In the waiting, you learn that I am far more interested in the development of your heart than in your temporary comfort. You see, my beloved, comfort can become a stumbling block if it leads you to forget your dependence on me. Moments of hunger remind you that I am your true sustenance. Seasons of pain teach you that I am your ultimate healer. Times of despair illuminate the fact that I am your unwavering hope. The furnace of trial refines your faith until it shines like gold. Although I take no pleasure in your suffering, I bring immeasurable value out of every ordeal. When you endure testing, you emerge with a testimony that can lift others from their own valleys. Right now, you stand on the brink of something extraordinary. I have orchestrated events to bring you to a pivotal point. Call it a crossroads of destiny or a threshold of new beginnings. All the wisdom gleaned from the triumphs and trials of your past has prepared you for the steps you are about to take. I am unveiling fresh paths. Do not cling to previous disappointments. Release them into my hands. Allow me to transform regret into revelation, turning your mistakes into stepping stones for a brighter tomorrow. Let the regrets fade in the light of my redemptive power, for I bring beauty out of ashes, joy out of mourning, and praise out of heaviness. As you stand poised to move forward, do not be dismayed by the noise of doubt and negativity around you. Every day, voices will try to distract you from your purpose, telling you that you are unworthy, that your efforts are futile, or that your dreams are too lofty. My child, how long will you listen to these mere echoes of fear? Let my voice be the strongest, the clearest, and the most compelling. For I speak life, I speak hope, and I speak promise. I do not condemn you, I uplift you. I do not belittle you, I remind you of your eternal worth. Imagine a traveler carrying a heavy pack, weighed down by items long since needed, but never discarded. This burden slows the journey and causes weariness. In the same way, you sometimes carry burdens of guilt, shame, and resentment that I never intended for you to bear. Today, let me help you shrug off every useless weight. For when you walk with me unencumbered, you discover freedom. You move faster, breathe easier, and see the destination more clearly. I know how to heal your wounds. I know how to release you from the baggage you have accumulated. But you must be willing to set it all down. Will you let go? I do not ask you to release your burdens into emptiness. I invite you to place them into my hands. Let me take your regrets and shape them into wisdom. Let me take your anger and transform it into forgiveness. Let me take your fear and fashion it into unbreakable faith. Let me take your sorrow and mold it into compassion for those who suffer. Nothing is wasted when you surrender it to me. Whether your pain or your talents, your tears or your triumphs, give them all to me. I will use them to create a masterpiece that brings you closer to my heart. There will be days when you wake up and feel nothing at all. No excitement, no determination, no spark of courage. In these instances, remind yourself that feelings do not define truth. My promises remain steadfast, independent of your shifting emotions. During these dry spells, my grace is sufficient. My faithfulness does not waver just because you have lost enthusiasm. If you keep walking by faith, relying on my guiding hand, you will emerge from this desert season more resilient. Remember, flowers bloom in the desert when fed by secret streams beneath the surface. In the same manner, I often grow you in hidden ways that are not immediately visible to others or even to yourself. When shadows loom over your mind, tempting you to question everything, lean in closer to me. My spirit never leaves nor forsakes you. You can trust my heartbeat, for it pulses with love for you. Turn your gaze upward, away from the swirling confusion. Even if you perceive only darkness, keep your eyes fixed on my light. I have placed it within you, a lamp that the night cannot extinguish. Every time you choose faith in the face of uncertainty, you sharpen your spiritual insight. Every time you proclaim my goodness despite feeling doubt, you fortify the walls of your soul against the siege of despair. Some individuals cross your path who are assigned to your life's tapestry, helping you grow in love, patience, or perseverance. Others might betray, abandon, or hurt you. Even in such painful interactions, there is potential for deeper refinement. Forgiveness does not excuse their behavior, but it does liberate you from the chains of bitterness. My child, you cannot walk freely into your future while shackled to unforgiveness of the past. Let my example on the cross guide you. I chose forgiveness even when experiencing the most profound agony, and in that act, resurrection power was released. Similarly, your willingness to forgive invites resurrection power into the dead places of your life. Step by step, your journey unfolds. You do not need to see the entire path to trust that I have ordained it. Embrace the present moment with confidence in my guidance. Tomorrow has its own schedule of grace. Rather than succumbing to the what-ifs that swirl like storm clouds, remain anchored in the reality of my presence. Pause throughout the day to attune your spirit to my quiet voice. Listen for it in the breeze, in a moment of stillness, or in the thoughtful words of a caring friend. Sometimes I speak through unexpected vessels, so remain open and discerning. When you sense a wave of reassurance washing over you, recognize my spirit comforting your soul. In times of quiet reflection, picture my love as a river flowing from my throne, coursing down into the valleys of human need, refreshing every dry place. Let this river run through you. Receive it, then release it to those around you who are parched for hope. You might not consider yourself a preacher or a teacher, but every act of kindness, every smile, every encouraging word you share testifies to the abundant goodness that resides in you through my Spirit. You become a conduit of my grace, even when you feel ordinary. Remember, I use the simplest vessels to pour out my profound miracles. As you continue to grow, be mindful that growth often includes a reorganization of priorities. What once satisfied you may no longer fulfill your heart. You may outgrow certain environments, relationships, or habits that do not align with where I am leading you. This can be uncomfortable because it prompts you to step away from the familiar, but always remember, when I ask you to let go of something, it is only because I have something greater in mind. My goal is never to rob you of joy, but to steer you toward the kind of joy that is sustainable and genuine. Trust that my guidance always points to your ultimate good. When you look ahead, you see possibilities, but also uncertainties. You might feel daunted by the magnitude of your calling. How can I handle the responsibilities placed before me, you wonder? My child, you are not to handle them alone. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light because I shoulder the heaviest part. I only ask that you walk beside me. If you try to accomplish your mission apart from me, you will quickly become exhausted. But if you surrender your striving, you will find my supernatural empowerment at every turn. Walls you thought impenetrable will crumble, and doors you never noticed will swing wide open, revealing paths prepared for you from the beginning of time. Perhaps you have noticed new desires stirring within you, the inclination to intercede for others, a longing to serve your community, or a fresh spark of creativity you never knew you had. Do not dismiss these desires as mere whims. Often I place such sparks in your heart to direct you toward your destiny. Yes, there is timing to everything. Not every new passion must be pursued immediately. However, do not bury those prompts in fear or procrastination. Pray about them, seek godly counsel, and remain attentive to the confirmations I send. You may be astonished at how my plan for you intersects perfectly with those heartfelt inclinations. Distraction is a formidable enemy of your progress. The world clamors for your attention, bombarding you with news, social obligations, financial concerns, and digital noise. Guard your focus diligently. Seek solitude with me in prayer and quiet meditation on my word. Let the truth of my promises anchor your perspective. When you make time to align your heart with mine, you gain clarity to discern what is truly important. You learn to say yes to the opportunities that further your purpose and no to the time wasters that sap your energy. Discouragement may come when you measure yourself against others, envying their progress or belittling your own. But you each have distinct paths. The blessings I have tailored for you cannot be enjoyed by trying to walk in someone else's shoes. Similarly, the struggles you endure form part of your unique testimony, shaping you into a beacon of hope for those who resonate with your experiences. Rather than compare yourself, celebrate the successes of others, while trusting that I also have a divine blueprint for your life. Let my voice be your standard. Never forget that your relationships are an essential area of my concern. I witness every interaction between you and those you love. I see the joy in your family's laughter, and I also see the painful misunderstandings that arise. I long to bring unity, healing, and peace. Conflict is natural in a world scarred by sin, but solutions are born from humility. If you are willing to soften your heart, apologize where needed, and extend grace, you open the door for my reconciliation. When you place me at the center of your relationships, I can transform strife into deeper connections of respect and genuine affection. Your home can become a sanctuary of my presence, a refuge where my peace dwells tangibly. As you grow closer to me, you will develop sharper spiritual discernment. You will notice the difference between the voice of the enemy, whose hallmark is accusation and chaos, and my voice, which imparts love, correction without condemnation, and courage to press forward. Take notice of the fruit that follows each voice. The enemy's voice leads to shame, isolation, and despair. My voice leads to repentance, restoration, and hope. When you sense a prompting, evaluate it carefully. Does it lead you toward more love, more gratitude, more truth, more humility, more joy? If so, you can be confident that it aligns with my heart. On some days, you might feel burdened by the brokenness around you. News of strife, injustice, and hardship might weigh you down. Remember, I have called you not to carry the weight of the entire world, but to stand in the gap with prayer and compassion where I have placed you. Pray for the hurting, intercede for the weary, and be a source of light in the sphere of influence I have granted you. I treasure your intercession, for it reflects my own desire to see healing and salvation envelop the earth. And do not underestimate the power of small acts of kindness. A simple gesture can ripple with eternal impact when done in love. You are a vessel of my goodness, a channel through which my grace flows into dark corners. Have confidence in that truth. In times when you feel inadequate, recall that I have always chosen imperfect people to convey my perfect love. Abraham doubted, Moses stuttered, and David stumbled, but I used each of them mightily when their hearts turned toward me. In the same way, I will use you. Do not let your limitations become an excuse for inaction. Instead, offer your limitations to me and watch how I supply what you lack. If you are contending with a significant personal crisis right now, a health issue, a family conflict, or an overwhelming financial burden, call out to me with honesty. Pour out your heart and let me replace your panic with my peace. Do not be ashamed of your weakness, for in your weakness, my strength is revealed. If you are tempted to despair, remember that the darkest nights birth the most profound trust. Faith is forged when circumstances contradict your hopes, but your heart still chooses to believe my promise. Make that declaration, even if your voice trembles. I trust you, Lord. I believe you can turn this situation around. In times of trouble, you might also be tempted to isolate yourself, thinking no one can understand your plight. Yet, I urge you to remain within the fellowship of believers, or at least share your burdens with a trusted friend or mentor. Sometimes, I answer your prayers through the hands and words of others. Community is one of my gifts to you, for no one is designed to walk alone. Let pride or fear of rejection melt away. Be transparent about your struggles so others can stand with you in prayer, encouragement, and support. I place people in your life who have walked similar roads and can remind you that you are not alone. Now, my child, there is something I wish to speak over you with crystal clarity. I am the one who sets you free from all condemnation, from every chain that the enemy tries to fasten around your life. Whether those chains are addictions, unhealthy relationships, crippling fears, or oppressive mindsets, they hold no power that I cannot break. The question is, do you want to be free? Will you surrender your familiarity with these chains for the abundant life I offer? Freedom sometimes feels scary because it requires stepping into new territory, leaving behind old coping mechanisms. Yet I promise you, a life led by my Spirit, unshackled by darkness, is incomparably fulfilling. As you embrace my truth, you also discover your authority as a believer. Speak to the mountains in your life, the towering obstacles, and command them to move in my name. Resist the enemy's lies and watch him flee. You are not helpless. You are empowered by the Holy Spirit. When you pray in faith, the spiritual realm shifts. Angelic forces respond, strongholds topple, despair yields to hope. This power is not from you, but it is yours to wield, because you are my beloved and carry my Spirit within you. I urge you not to underestimate the daily renewal of your mind. Saturate your thoughts with my promises. Read my word, reflect on it, and let it transform your perspective. My words are like seeds planted in your heart. They produce a harvest of wisdom, faith, and resilience. If you invest time in strengthening your spirit, you will find that trials become manageable stepping stones rather than insurmountable barriers. In your journey, you may face moments of isolation, times when those around you do not share your convictions or even mock them. Do not yield to discouragement. Stand firm in your identity. I see the bigger picture, the harvest that will spring forth if you remain steadfast. If you persevere, you will eventually see transformation, not only in yourself, but also in those who once misunderstood you. Your life can be a living sermon, demonstrating that unconditional love, patience, and grace are possible, even in a world fixated on selfish pursuits. Let me also speak to your creativity, that divine spark I placed within you. Perhaps you have artistic talents, writing, painting, music, or a knack for cooking, designing, or organizing. Understand that creativity flows from my own nature. I spoke and galaxies were formed. Colors and shapes burst forth into creation. When you create something beautiful or solve a problem with ingenuity, you reflect my image. Do not diminish the value of your creative expressions. Offer them to me in worship, using them to bring joy, hope, or comfort to others. In doing so, you multiply the blessings I have entrusted to you. When life becomes a whirl of responsibilities, never forget the importance of rest. I designed you to work diligently, but also to pause, exhale, and reconnect with me in quiet moments. Rest is not laziness. It is a restoration of mind, body, and spirit. It is an act of trust, acknowledging that I am in control and your worth is not solely determined by your productivity. Take times of reflection, laugh with your family, bask in the beauty of nature. You will discover that these moments of respite rejuvenate your soul and sharpen your clarity about your next steps. My child, do you sense the stirring of revival in your heart? There is a trembling in the spiritual realm, an anticipation that many are feeling. I am awakening hearts to the reality of my presence, calling them out of passivity into fervent relationship with me. You too are part of this grand move. Let the flame of your devotion burn brightly. Worship me with every fiber of your being. Let your voice rise unashamed, and let your spirit be ablaze with passion for truth. In your worship, you create an atmosphere where miracles become natural occurrences and my glory is displayed openly. You might ask, how can I fan these flames day after day? By setting aside intentional moments of praise, by cultivating an environment where my name is honored, and by standing upon my word, you keep the fire alive. When you feel it waning, do not condemn yourself. Simply draw near to me again. I do not turn away from the seeking heart. I welcome you with open arms and supply fresh oil for your spirit. Like the servants who tended the lamp in the temple, remain devoted in keeping the fire lit. That flame will guide you, comfort you, and even draw others to me. Be vigilant, though, for religious routine can creep in when relationship is neglected. I never intended for you to merely follow a list of rituals. I called you to know me intimately, to walk in step with me, to share the secrets of your heart as I share mine with you. This intimacy breathes life into everything you do, whether it is your job, your family responsibilities, or your acts of service. Without the heartbeat of relationship, even good deeds become hollow. Let every day begin with the loving acknowledgement that I am near, that I am your friend as much as your king, and that my desire is not only your obedience, but also your company. Even if you feel unworthy of my friendship, know that I, the Holy One, deemed you worthy when I gave my life on the cross. That sacrifice was not just for an abstract humanity. It was a personal, intentional act for you. I saw your face, knew your name, and opened the door for eternal communion. You have free access to come boldly before my throne of grace. There is no condemnation, no barrier, no locked gate that prevents you from stepping into my presence. Let that reality sink into your heart. Let it inspire confidence, gratitude, and awe. Now, my precious child, I want to invite you to continue drawing from the well of these messages. There is a place where my word is consistently proclaimed, where testimonies of my power and goodness are shared, fueling your faith and connecting you with others who also yearn for my presence. If you haven't done so yet, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel that carries these messages forward. This simple act is like building an altar of remembrance, a place where you can return to hear my voice, share your burdens, and be uplifted whenever you feel weary. By subscribing, you not only invest in your own spiritual growth, but also help extend a lifeline of hope to countless others seeking the same light you have found. Let your testimony merge with the testimonies of many, that together you might blaze a trail of faith in a world longing for answers. Remember always that you are held in the palm of my hand. You are safe, cared for, and deeply beloved. Even as you make the choice to connect further, know that my heart rejoices with every step you take toward deeper fellowship and knowledge of my ways. Expect new revelations, fresh encounters, and timely words of wisdom to flow into your life. As you join with others who seek my face, you form a vibrant community of believers standing in unity, my family on earth, shining like a city on a hill. Now go forth carrying this promise. Cling to my words, for they are life, healing, and restoration for your entire being. As you remain in my presence, you will discover that everything you need is found in me. Be at peace, my child, for I am with you always, to the end of every age and every struggle. You are mine, and I am eternally yours. Rest in that reality. Rejoice in it, for you have been called by the one who never fails, never leaves, and never ceases to pour out favor and mercy upon those who trust in me.